What do you do is the most overused conversation starter out there. And I don't know about you, but I am tired of hearing that question. And if you want to stand out, it's time to try something different. In today's video, I'm going to show you a quick actionable technique that transforms any interaction with no prep required. And that technique is simply using environmental cues. Let's just say, for example, if you're somewhere and you see a painting on the wall or maybe like appetizers on the table or anything like that, right? So these aren't just things in the background. You can use these to actually spark conversations. For example, if we're at an event and you try to spark a conversation with me and you say something about the art on the wall, I'm going to immediately talk about my wife being an artist. And from there, we're talking about our talents. Or if you bring up, let's just say, the food at the event, I'm probably going to joke around and say, oh yeah, this isn't going to be enough for me later, right now, but I need something later. What do you recommend? What's around here? Even if I'm from here, I'm going to ask you to figure out what you like to eat. So as we get into this video, you're going to learn about 3 specific phrases that are going to work on absolutely anybody to help you stand out. So if you ever have walked into any type of room and wonder, how do I break the ice? Today, you're going to get that answer. The main thing is we're trying to figure out what are the easy entry points to the conversation. So as I was saying, most people overlook the details that are simply around them. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Paying attention to the details in your environment to make it easy to have these conversations without being awkward. So instead of overthinking, worry about the perfect line, trying to figure out what you're going to say to somebody, I want you to focus on what is right in front of you, directly in front of you. So if you walk into an event, pay attention to the food, the walls, the decor, the equipment, the energy, all of that, even the layout of the room, because these are built-in conversation starters that do not require any special knowledge or preparation for you. A lot of top networkers are using these environmental observations so they can feel safe, they can make the other person feel safe, and it also makes everything feel natural. For example, if you notice something unique about the venue, ask, have you ever been to this venue before? Yes? Oh, really? What brought you here? How did you find this event? What did you think about it? XYZ. Person says no. Oh, well, this is a really nice venue. What do you think about it so far? How did you find this event? What brought you here, right? You see how I still had like the same questions, but they're always open-ended. You always want to have some open-ended questions. And you can just continue to pile on those questions from there and just see where you end up, right? These conversation starters are really about, 1, having open-ended questions, and 2, really paying attention to the surrounding area where you are, right? And this allows people to give their own impressions, their opinions, and even share their own stories. Even small comments about the temperature, right? We've all done it. Man, it's hot outside. I use that and I run with it. I was in the Uber the other day, definitely not hotter in North Carolina than it is in California. So I was like, oh, boom, were you visiting? Did you live there? How long were you there? How long have you been here? What do you think? What do you like? And the conversation just kept flowing from there. And it was maybe about a 15-minute Uber, but honestly, I found out her entire life story. Her entire life story within about 15 minutes. I always joke, like, between my mom and I, if you give us 10 to 15 minutes of just like straight talk time, we'll figure out any and everything about you, and you won't know anything about us. Simply because we just ask these type of questions and just can drive the conversation. The main thing I want you to remember here is the key is that you're inviting someone to talk about something that you're both experiencing in real time at the moment, which then gives you common ground to have this small talk conversation. Now that you understand that, I want to get into 3 lines that simply just never fail whenever you're having a small talk. So I wanted to break down what these three simple lines are, You can use these anywhere with anybody, and it's going to make a conversation effortless. So these are going to build on a little bit from what we just spoke about in terms of observing your environment. So the first one, big surprise, is making sure that you are observing your environment. So I was at a speakers conference recently and they had a live DJ. So from there, I'm talking to someone like, oh man, I've never been to an event like this before where they had a DJ. The DJ is real cool. I love this music. It's a throwback. It makes you think about middle school, high school, whatever. Oh, or maybe even college. Where'd you go to college? Oh, why'd you go there? What'd you think about it? XYZ, right? Just from talking about a DJ. Simple as that, but the conversation can flow. The next one is an open invitation. All right. So You can use this and you can ask someone, what's your takeaway for the breakout rooms that we're having right now? What's your takeaway about the event so far? What do you think about the venue? What do you think about the campus? Like, just anything. What do you think about X, Y, Z? That's it. This moves from, let's just say, the observational one that we were talking about to truly engaging someone in the conversation, and it allows them to truly just talk their head off. Like, people love to give their opinion. So this is a great one to use. What do you think? Get someone's opinion on something. And the last one is more so like the generous type of question, and one that I've been hit with plenty of times, and that is, what is your story? Simply asking that question to someone, like, what is your story? They can interpret that however they want to, and I promise you, they will yap. Like, or maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but whenever someone asks me, what is your story? I yap. I just start talking like, oh, I started here, I got there, this is when I had challenges, and now we're here, right? It's an easy question once you start flowing to the conversation. And it's a way that people start talking about themselves, and everyone loves to talk about themselves. And it's also a very open-ended conversation. It's friendly, and it puts the focus on the person that you're talking about. And if you feel any type of anxiety when it comes to small talk, you want them to do all the talking. You probably feel a lot better if you're not doing a lot of the talking in the conversation. And that is a great question to ask. What's your story? One thing I want you to remember with all three of these different techniques I just spoke about, the different lines, they have one thing in common. They start from what's happening in the exact moment. And you're not necessarily interrogating somebody, or you're not trying to create like a false like perception of who you are or anything like that. You're really just sharing your experience of where both of you are at the moment. And you're just being observational. That's it. You're not trying to impress anybody. You're just noticing and inviting them. You're using active listening. That's it. It's nothing crazy. But the more you practice this and master these approaches, I promise you, you're going to approach small talk and you're like, oh man, this is easy. This is fun. Who am I going to talk to today? Who am I going to spark a conversation with? It's lovely, honestly, once you get really great at it. But wrapping up here today in the video, one thing I want y'all to remember is when you're paying attention to your environment, you can turn any situation into any conversation. It's just that simple. Whether you're looking at the food, the artwork on the wall, the energy in the room, the decor, the equipment, it doesn't matter what's around you. You can spark a conversation with anyone with just having these questions that we spoke about, these inviting, open-ended question, observational questions, and whatnot. So this is what I want y'all to do. This week, I want you to try one of the three of these lines that we just spoke about in any type of setting, whether you're at work, a coffee shop, a networking event, meetup, party. It does not matter. Use it. Just try it. See how it goes. Tag me in it as well. Well, not tag me in the conversation, but like send me a message. Let me know how it went. Instagram, Phenom Speaks, LinkedIn, Philip Phenom. Let me know. But if you found this video helpful, I promise you all, you're going to love the next video, and we're going to be talking about how to keep a conversation from dying. So make sure you turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you in the very next video.